Da 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 da.
This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin FREAKIN.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol, live. It's a freaking Friday, and you know what that means? Smoke 'em if you got 'em, bitches. I do want to point out that I finally got through to C-SPAN last night after the presidential debate. For those of you who weren't on the stream, I had been drinking. So by the time I get on with C-SPAN, I was a little rowdy, and now that I've had the chance to go back and watch the footage, I think I was ranting at them, so I understand why they cut me off. But shit, I say I'm a millennial from Alabama, and they ask me about fracking. Fracking isn't important to me. Healthcare is. My friends are dying because they can't afford insulin. My friends can't go to the fucking dentist. Yes, it was 20 proof. I'm a pussy. I'm sorry. But you also watch me take several shots, and you know I don't drink. I explained that to everybody. That was the first time liquor had crossed my lips in 2020. So my apologies that I'm a lightweight. I'm a smoker. I'll smoke you under the table. But I only drink socially. I'll go out, I'll have a drink. I'll usually nurse it through the night. So, I'm sorry, C-SPAN. I know I yelled at you. Hopefully we get to do it again sometime. Welcome to the show. I'm excited. I've got plans after I get off here. What's my plans? Well, I'm gonna watch Bo Rap. I am blaming it on the alcohol. The alcohol and the fact that, I'm kind of a jerk anyway. So, my good friend Dan Bedondi, who's gonna be on the show next week, I'm excited for it. He shared this video out a little bit ago, and let's give this a watch and see what we think.
My name is Tony Bobulinski.
So first of all, this is incredibly shitty video. Why, in 2020, when everybody has a fucking high-def camera on their phone, are we putting up with this kind of shitty video? But this is supposedly the guy that was mentioned in the emails, in Hunter Biden's emails, that this was Hunter Biden's accomplice. And the one that basically tipped them off to, I don't even know what the scandal, I don't even know. I've asked right-wingers over and over again, what do you think he did? What in the emails are incriminating? And nobody can give me a straight answer. So let's see what this guy has to say, and maybe he can tell us what exactly it is that Hunter Biden did that was so bad, because I'm dying to know.
I served as a lieutenant in the United States Navy with high security clearance. My father and grandfather both served for decades.
I kind of already want to call bullshit on him. Like, oh, I had high security clearance. That's something like a Q motherfucker would say.
Both in this country and abroad.
It was basically water.
Making the statement to set the record straight about the involvement of the Biden.
Also, okay. So now back to the alcohol. Remember, I was drinking, liquor de coco in chocolate milk. I also had a gigantic glass. So as I'm getting ready to go on C-SPAN, I said I was nervous. I wasn't nervous. I was a little sick from having that much chocolate and sugar. So I was like shaking and feeling weird, but that's what it was. Fucked me right up. Okay, back to this guy.
His brother Jim Biden and his son Hunter Biden in dealings with the Chinese. I have heard Joe Biden say that he's never discussed business with Hunter. That is false. I have firsthand knowledge about this because I directly dealt with the Biden family.
I can't imagine. Who would even say they don't discuss business with their son? Because obviously they're going to discuss, well, how'd your day go? I did this meeting, I went to here. And that's... So I can't believe that Joe would actually say, like, I didn't discuss any business with my son. Oh shit, I've got a Facebook comment. It's been forever since I've had a Facebook comment. I'm sorry I didn't get to do the stream last night. Apparently my ban is still in effect for live streams. I can post, I can comment, I can like shit. I can troll people out the ass. I can't live stream for some reason. So I had to go to different Facebook page, tried to share it out. But thanks for joining us, Jordan.
I have also heard that Vice President Biden said on Tuesday that Senator Ron Johnson, the chair of the Senate Homeland Security Committee, should be ashamed for suggesting that Biden family sought to profit from their name. Well, here are the facts I know, and everything I'm saying is corroborated by emails, WhatsApp chats, agreements, documents, and other evidence.
I want to see this evidence. Okay, here's the claims.
I brought, I guess, for record, 3 phones that spanned the years 2015 through 2018.
When Joe Biden wasn't even in office?
Never been held by anybody else besides myself. I was told this past Sunday by somebody who was also involved.
Oh, 15. I guess he was still in office.
That if I went public this information, it would bury all of us, man. The Bidens included. I have no wish to bury anyone. I've never been political. The few contributions I have made have been to Democrats. But what I am is a patriot and a veteran. To protect my family name and my business reputation, I need to ensure that the true facts are out there.
Like, come on, guys. Like, already, this is sketchy. I'm watching a video of this guy making these, like, wild-ass claims.
In late 2015, I was approached by James Gillier, whom I had known for many years, about joining him in a deal which he said would involve the Chinese state-owned enterprise, CEFC China Energy, and what he called one of the most prominent families in the United States. I was informed first by Gillier, and then by Hunter Biden, and by Rob Walker, who was working with the Biden.
I wouldn't even put the Bidens in the top 10 most prominent families in the U.S.
Which was to invest in infrastructure, real estate, and technology in the U.S. and around the world. And the entity would initially be capitalized with $10 million and then grow to billions of dollars of investment capital. After months of discussion, I agreed at Gillier and Hunter Biden's request to become CEO of the entity to be called Sinohawk.
Sinohawk?
Representing the Chinese side, Hawk representing Hunter Biden's brother Bo's favorite animal. And between February and May 2017, we exchanged numerous emails, documents, and WhatsApp messages concerning Sinohawk and its potential business. On May 2nd, 2017, the night before Joe Biden...
Come on, guys, like... if this guy is who he says he is, this video is what it says he, like, wouldn't this have been a big deal and there would have been news cameras and shit? Why? I don't understand what's going on here. Now, remember, I just saw a right-winger share this out right before I came on the air. So that's why I'm watching it with you guys. I didn't get to vet it. I didn't get to go look to see if I could find a better version of this. I just saw it, grabbed it. These are the claims.
Conference, I was introduced to Joe Biden by Jim Biden and Hunter Biden.
Now, Jim Biden does seem to be a little sketchy.
Biden's history, the Biden's family business plans with the Chinese, with which he was plainly familiar, at least at a high level. After that meeting, I had numerous communications with Hunter, Walker, Gilliar, and Jim Biden regarding the allocation of the equity ownership of Sinohawk. On May 13, 2017, I received an email concerning allocation of equity, which says 10% held by H for the big guy. In that email, there's no question that H stands for Hunter, big guy for his father, Joe Biden, and Jim for Jim Biden. In fact, Hunter often referred to his father as the big guy or my chairman. On numerous occasions, it was made clear to me that Joe Biden's involvement was not to be mentioned in writing, but only face-to-face. In fact, I was advised by Gilliar and Walker that Hunter and Jim Biden were paranoid about keeping Joe Biden's involvement secret.
Why?
I also had a disagreement with Hunter about the funds CFC was contributing to Sinohawk. Hunter wanted $5 million of those funds to go to himself and his family, so he wanted the funds wired directly to an entity affiliated with him. I objected because that was contrary to our written agreements concerning Sinohawk. He said, referring to the chairman, his father, that CFC was really investing in the Biden family, that he held a Trump card, and that he was the one putting his family legacy on the line. He also said to me on May 17, 2017, that CFC wanted to be my partner, to be partner with the Bidens. During these negotiations, I repeated to Hunter...
Did anyone catch this guy's name?
Sinohawk could not be Hunter's personal piggy bank. And I demanded that proper corporate governance procedures be implemented for capital distributions. Hunter became very upset with me. CFC through July 2017 was assuring me the funds would be transferred to Sinohawk, but they were never sent to our company. Instead, I found out from Senator Johnson's...
Oh, this has not been verified. Tony Bobolinsky,
August 2017,
who claims to be a former business associate.
tomorrow, I will be meeting with the Senate committee members concerning this matter, and I will be providing to the FBI the devices which contain the evidence corroborating what I...
This is the guy that Trump took to the debate last night.
Questions at this time.
Oh, and it's over now?
Well, look, the bad news just keeps coming for...
That... The walls are closing in on the Bidens. What did they accuse him of? Basically, what that sounded like was a above-the-board normal business deal, and they just wanted to keep Joe Biden... Like, what he described was there were no crimes. Nothing fishy. What the... I mean, clearly this is all a distraction. I don't think the strategy is going to work at all. Oh, okay. I already had I went looking for the story. I already had it up from Fox News. Ex-Hunter Biden Associates records don't show proof of Biden business relationship. Holy shit. So Fox News is calling bullshit on this guy. Tony Bobolinsky had claimed the former VP was involved in discussions about his son's business dealings overseas. Fox News has reviewed emails from Bobolinsky related to the venture, and they don't show that the elder Biden had business dealing with Sinohawk Holdings or took any payments from them or the Chinese. This is Fox News! But okay, so the Bubblinsky up there, he didn't say anything that was untruthful. Like, you can't sue the guy. I wouldn't doubt that there's emails that exist, the big guy or whatever the fuck. He's not describing anything illegal. So if somebody's just paid him to go up there and say that, and then right-wingers are acting like it's a story, these dumb fucks just run with it. You see them all over my page. You're like, yeah, but Hunter Biden, he's caught up. Like, they just keep saying Hunter Biden scandal. It's kind of like if you say Russiagate. They're fond of saying that, and every time I hear a right-winger say Russiagate, what is that? Explain that to me. Because I can show you where Russia interfered in our election, that the Trump campaign had connections to them, and that the Trump campaign lied to try to hide those connections. All that is true. So I don't know what Russiagate is exactly. Now, also, before I came on the air, I saw this story that while we're talking about this completely non-issue with Hunter Biden, the former Mueller deputy predicts that Trump will pardon himself if he doesn't win re-election, which he won't. As I was discussing with a buddy earlier, it's certain Trump is losing by a gigantic margin. The problem is Trump's going to declare victory on election night. You guys know that. Be prepared for it. As my buddy producer Dave said, he's probably ready to just drop a bunch of ads on Facebook the night of the election saying he won. No matter what the outcome is, he's going to say he won on election night. And that's the scariest part, is I have presented these people with evidence. Legitimate evidence of Trump's wrongdoing over and over again, and they just ignore it. So even if all the news organizations say that Joe Biden won, and he will, hopefully they say it on Tuesday night. A week from Tuesday, we're getting close. But even though the news organizations say it, the dumb fucks that follow Trump won't believe it. Now, I was reassured. I heard somebody say, like, civil war from them is highly unlikely because we're talking about people with nice trucks, nice homes, comfortable idiots. Just a step up from working poor. That's Trump's base. Usually high school educated, had some kind of trade job, and doesn't pay attention to the news, and has been propagandized for 20, 30 years on this just right-wing bullshit, starting with people like Rush Limbaugh in the early 90s. Civil war is hell. And these comfortable motherfuckers in their big-ass trucks aren't going to want to go to war. They're not gonna want to participate in guerrilla warfare tactics. So I take comfort in that, because that is a really good point. He just held up 3 phones. He got paid to go out there and say that. Everything he said might have been true. Nothing was incriminating, but boy, does it look bad. But now I'm still wondering, if Fox News was able to verify that, why? How was that the only video of this dude I could find? That's insane. But yes, Trump will indeed pardon himself. But the first move will be he's going to claim that he won. We are in for a wild week. I'm contemplating what I'm going to do right now. I've thought about, hey, I'm going to sign on at 6 p.m. on Tuesday night and not go off until 6 a.m. the next morning. Until we know a winner, or 6 a.m. That's what I'm thinking about. I don't know that I would be able to do it. All night stream. You guys tell me what you think. I wouldn't expect anybody to watch me for 12 hours, though. It's one of those you just duck in and out, come back in. I may get Smokey to host part of the show, too, to give me a break at some point in time. I was talking about what a Smokey-hosted show would look like. If somebody will take me to the liquor store, I will restock on my liquors. I'll get some vodka. I'll get some bourbon. Gin is my drink. That's what I usually drink. A Sprite and gin is my thing. So if somebody will Sparkles needs to take me to the liquor store. I've asked. We went out. We went to the head shop, and I'm like, hey, please take me to the liquor store. And she's like, now let's get home. All right, Sparkles. By the way, I am trying my best to get her to appear on the show. You guys would love her. She's way funnier than I am. She doesn't want to be on camera, but I have a guest seat right here next to me. I don't know, can you see it in my second camera? No, you can't. But I have a guest seat right here next to me. I put the microphone right here on my desk. I told her I'll blur out her face if she wants me to. If I have to. Not like people don't know what she looks like. But the craziest thing about her is when I had just seen pictures of her, like every picture looks like she is soulless and she will murder you. But then when I met her in person, like she's really funny and affable and stuff. Why does every picture of you look just soulless? Oh, God. But hopefully, yeah, I'm watching Borat, and I'm glad you spelled it Borat. So I know I'm saying it wrong. I've been saying it wrong for 20 years. I am not going to stop. I like saying Borat. I'm watching Borat just as soon as I get off here. I've already got it queued up, ready to go. I've been waiting all day, and I haven't even really been high yet. I've got my bowl of pot. This was like the leftover resin I had from last night I was hitting when I came on the air. I might even have to pack a bong. I don't have much left, but I might have to pack a bong for Borat. So I've been waiting. I'm excited, and actually at the end of the show, we're going to play some clips. You might want to stick around because Borat came to the defense of Rudy Giuliani, and we have that video. We're gonna play a couple other clips too. I actually have, before I was doing my show, I think it was over the summer, some footage leaked out. And it seems like it's from Sacha Baron Cohen's Who is America show. Now, it may be from Borat. I don't know. But we're going to play that footage because I watched that over the summer and just laughed my ass off. It's from a dumb fuck rally with right-wingers. I think it was during the anti-mask rallies that were going on in the spring. All right, guys. Oh, also, before you go, Jordan, you need to see Mitch McConnell's fucking hands if you haven't. Because this motherfucker got something wrong with him. Look at that. And I mean, this isn't just the lighting in there. We've got other pictures. There's the close-up. This is him on the Senate floor. A screen grab from C-SPAN. This was him sitting in the subway car in Washington, D.C. This was on October 20th. Now, remember, I played what was he talking about? The coronavirus stimulus bill that he's not going to bring forward? I played a clip of him, and when I played it, I didn't know about any of this. This was probably Monday or Tuesday. I played that clip, and I went, what the fuck is wrong with Mitch McConnell? Because, one, he was only talking out of, I think it was the right side of his mouth, and his, upper lip and shit was all bruised. I don't think I noticed his hand. Maybe he has hands behind the podium or something. Pumpkin, are you here? What could cause that? Now, this was at the debate against Amy McGrath. This was just October 12th. So 11 days ago, he's fine. And he was able to talk fine. Because I was like, did he have a stroke? But does this kind of bruising come from a stroke? I heard somebody mention that blood thinners may cause you to bruise like that. I've got a theory. The fucking entire world is on fire. If you believe in Christianity, the Christians fell for the fucking Antichrist. Mitch McConnell is turning into fucking death. I might need to get down on my knees and pray. And by the way, Dan Badandi that's going to be here next week, very much a Christian man. Maybe I'll ask him about this. See what he thinks. Not only is he a Christian man, he believes in some wild ass shit. But he's a cool guy. I've had a lot of fun with him, so I can't wait to talk with him next week. I'll know on Monday what day he's actually going to be here. And we're going to plug the hell out of it. You guys are going to love Dan Badandi. He was also, I don't know if he actually made it to Tough Enough, but he sent in a video for Tough Enough, WWE's reality show. A few years, it was the 2015 revival. And I liked the video. When I asked him if I could play it, he kind of made it seem like I was going to be mocking him. I was like, no, I don't want to mock you about it. Like, I dug it. But it's him giving a promo to the camera like a wrestler. So I thought that was a good hype video for Dan Badandi coming on the show. I wasn't very organized tonight, guys. I'm just jumping around from story to story. Some of the stories I found interesting today, and some of the stories I had left over from last night that we didn't get to. This one blew my fucking mind, and this goes back to, like, these people aren't going to believe the news if they tell them Biden won, because, like, they're in a whole nother world. And this Louisiana House candidate fundraises off of their opponent's tweet about a wife's premonition. Now listen to this. And I don't blame this guy one bit for, like, hey, these people are batshit. Please give me money so I can unseat this guy. Fucking smart strategy. Rep. Clay Higgins in Louisiana said that his wife has the gift. I've already said Gordon has a gift. My wife has the gift of premonition. Last night she dreamed that federal squads were in our home seizing guns, knives, unauthorized foods, and stored water. They said we had been reported. What happened to our freedom? Oh my God, what happened to our freedom? I had a dumb fuck dream. Let's read some of the replies to this, please. You're in Congress, my God. Exactly. I love people getting dragged on Twitter is awesome. And this is much more likely to happen under a Trump presidency. That's what I keep saying. I've got a right-winger specifically. You guys have probably seen him on my page that I talk to a lot. I've tried to get him calling the show, but he says he's not as good. He's a writer. He says he's a writer. He's not a talker. I'm like, come on, man. I'll plug your stuff and everything. But you can't penetrate anything. I'm constantly telling him, Biden far more aligns with your views, and he took the political compass test. And seriously, his dot was down here, Biden was right here, and then Trump is way up here. But it's 20 years, 30 years of Fox News, Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck. Like, they live in a fantasy world. And it's like Trump has no principles. He will say anything that keeps him in power. And then even like I played the clip of Trump being like, take the guns first. Like, even I don't believe in that. I mean, I'm for red flag laws, and that has a lot to do with domestic violence. Because victims of domestic violence, that usually escalates if the male owns a gun. It's usually a male. I know some people will try to get upset over that, you stupid incels, but in most abuse situations, the perpetrator is almost always a male. Rare instances, it's a female. Even when the victim's a male, the perpetrator is almost always a male. That's same with rape, assault, everything. But red flag laws are meant so that a abused spouse, who would be the first to know the warning signs, can report that person and have their guns confiscated, and then they can go through the process to get them back. Because what happens when you leave guns in a house where there's domestic violence, it often escalates to a very bad place. Red flag laws don't mean your neighbor down the street can report you and get your guns taken away. That's not how that works. But right-wingers have been propagandized by the NRA, gun manufacturers. Because keeping people scared sells guns. It's all marketing. Everything you hate is capitalism. Now, I really wanted to talk about Jeffrey Epstein tonight. But I went looking for people that had scoured through the transcripts. These are the transcripts right here. God, I can't even open it. Oh, okay. Because I didn't want to sit here and read them all myself, but because I thought for sure people had already went through them, but a day ago, 11 hours ago, 23 hours ago, nothing has been... I figured there was going to be stories this afternoon about like, oh, we found this out. Oh, we found this out. Like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. All right, we have Reuters right here. 45 minutes ago. Ghislaine Maxwell forcefully rejected suggestions she had seen the late financier Jeffrey Epstein have sex with underage girls or helped him arrange illicit sexual encounters in the 2016 deposition made public on Thursday. Let's see if we've got any juicy details in here, because that's what we're looking for. Because we're supposed to know some names from this shit. I don't blame the defense for trying to block the release. Yeah, this is going back over the accusations. I just assume people haven't had time to pour through them yet. But I mean, gosh, you would think 4 stories. That's all that's been published in the last hour. If I go back 24 hours. Hopefully next week we get some stories of what's going on. We want the dirt. We want to know what Bill Richardson was into. What the fuck? And how is Prince Andrew still walking around? Arrest that bastard. All right, this is some cell phone video from a neighborhood. Apparently, they before the video starts here. What the fuck? Before the video starts here, this woman apparently was yelling "All lives matter" in the neighborhood. Now she's walking onto his property.
Oh my god.
Ah, she fell.
Oh my god.
You're gonna lose that battle.
Okay, now I think maybe we should call somebody. I think.
What did she think she was going to happen? What did she think was going to happen there?
Is it 911?
Yeah. Probably coming on.
He was just on his lawn.
Call?
What? Now I think there's another video associated. I think he gives his yeah. He tells what he gives his side of the story.
You know, it was an ugly episode. You know, it was an ugly episode, and it was embarrassing for everybody involved. And I don't know. But then I showed one of my friends. Like, I'm friends with some really nice parents in the neighborhood, and I showed one of the dads. And then all the moms insisted that they see it. So they all came over and saw it, and they all agreed, like, you need to share it. And they were really supportive, and I went ahead and shared it. And I've been really nervous about that, you know, seeing like how big it got, just about any kind of pushback. People know where I live, and they know I have family. It is exposing yourself, but I think you got to stand up for bullies, two bullies.
Yeah, especially when your house is in the video.
And to racism in general. And I'm not calling her a racist. You know, I'm not making any attacks against the woman, but
if she was yelling "All lives matter," she's a fucking racist.
But she was being antagonistic and a bully for sure. And she was. I did hear her screaming "White lives matter," and just.
Oh, I got it wrong. So white lives matter.
I've got no time for it, and I'm glad I did what I did.
Important information.
I would be interested to know why she's just in a neighborhood. I think the story says that a flag in the neighborhood, a BLM flag, triggered her or something.
We want our patients to have a fun, unique experience each time they...
Heard the woman screaming about a flag, saying white lives matter. Yelled about other things in the neighbor's yard. The outrage was the BLM flag being more visible than the American flag. I bet she flies a Blue Lives Matter flag, though. I got deleted by a dumb fuck for posting the flag code under his post about the Blue Lives flag. Yeah, fuck flags. I'll piss on any flag. I want to say it was Howard Zinn had a quote about how he was a student and they wanted him to say the Pledge of Allegiance and he wouldn't do it because like it didn't make sense to him, because like why would you pledge allegiance to a country? Why not the world or the universe or something? I think it was Howard Zinn. I'm not exactly sure. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, fuck flags. And if you've never seen the skit from The Whitest Kids You Know, just WKUK Pledge in YouTube. Pull that up. It's only about a minute and a half. Watch that. One of the funniest, most profound pieces of video I've ever watched in my life. Then they ram in so much comedy in that minute and a half. I'm a huge fan of The Whitest Kids You Know. Big fan of Trevor. So it's brainwashing. And that's the whitest kids you know thing. This is not a form of brainwashing. This is not a form of brainwashing. It is so fucking weird. And then I've seen the meme that's like, hey, you've pledged allegiance with liberty and justice for all, and then you get pissed off when people go out and protest for liberty and justice for all. Like, the disconnect here. Speaking of people not getting justice, we're getting ready to watch an interview from one of the officers of Mattingly, I believe it was. I think this was the one that got hit in the leg during the Breonna Taylor raid. So he gave an interview to Good Morning America the other day. Let's give it a listen.
Louisville from that Breonna Taylor shooting.
I did, George. Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly, he was one of the officers who burst through the door of Breonna Taylor's apartment on that fateful night in March when she was with her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker. Mattingly was shot and badly wounded. And this is the first...
He wasn't badly... I mean, I think it hit an artery or something, but I mean, it wasn't badly wounded.
Breonna Taylor! Her death sparked nationwide outrage and anguish. 26-year-old medical worker Breonna Taylor shot and killed by Louisville police officers shortly after midnight on March 13th while executing a search warrant. Officers investigating a suspected drug operation allegedly linked to her ex-boyfriend. This morning, for the first time...
No. They lied to obtain a warrant to go to that house. They had no evidence of any drug investigation. Let's make that clear right now.
Mattingly sharing publicly what he says happened that night.
So we get up. I remember banging on the door. It's open hand, hard smacks. Bam, 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 bam. First time didn't announce. Just hoping she would come to the door so everything was quiet. Neighbors wouldn't come out.
Can you hear anything from inside the...
Now remember, they were serving a no-knock warrant. We know for a fact it was a no-knock warrant, but they're all saying, oh, we knocked. Why would you knock if you were serving a no-knock warrant?
Not at that point. Okay. Not at that point. So after the first bang, nothing happened. I banged again. I yelled, "Please search warrant, please search warrant." You're yelling this.
How many times do you yell that?
Probably 3 times each with each bang. There was a total of 6 bangs, 6 different knocks.
Yes, if you've listened to Kenneth Walker describe
One of the main figures involved in the Breonna Taylor shooting is...
We're not ready for you yet. If you've listened to Kenneth Walker describe it, he says that just the fucking door flies off.
The door while we're doing this.
There were 7 officers on the scene that night. One said he thought he heard movement inside the apartment.
He said, "Stop. I can hear somebody coming up to the door." So we stop, we listen. Nobody says anything. We yell again, "Please search warrant. Open the door if you're there. Please search warrant." And finally, I look back at my lieutenant, who's in the stack back here. He goes, "Go ahead and hit it."
Even as you're hitting the door with
Yelling,
the brand, you're yelling.
Yes, everybody at this point.
Everybody.
Because that's what we do.
All 7 of you.
All 7.
That is bullshit. All 12 of the witnesses to this incident all said they did not announce themselves. Nobody yelled. It was shooting that woke everybody up.
That I know of. It sounded like it. That's the typical how it goes every time. And that doesn't change.
Kenneth Walker said that he and Breonna were screaming. Who is it? Said they never heard any announcement that it was the police. And what do you say to that?
Maybe he didn't.
But there are also 11 neighbors who said the same thing that he said.
Those 11 neighbors also said we did not.
It was 12. The 12th one changed their story. They originally said that they didn't hear them and changed their story later when an investigator called them back a month later, month and a half.
Kenneth Walker.
And even then, from the grand jury testimony, we hear it. The investigator, I think we listened to the call on the show, is kind of leading the question to make it seem like, hey, were they yelling anything when they were outside? And like, yeah, police. It's super fishy. And that's what they went on. That was the only witness that was presented to the grand jury, was the one that said that they knocked. A month after he said they didn't. And they didn't mention that he changed his story. That's why the grand jurors wanted to speak out. We're going to get to that here in a second.
The other witness says we knocked. So if you didn't hear us knock, you're not going to hear us announce.
Mattingly says once the team enters the dark apartment, he sees two figures in the hallway. How far away from you?
About 20, 25 feet, probably, 20, 25 feet. And as soon as I turned the corner, my eyes went straight to the barrel of this gun. I could see the tip of it. And my eyes just focused in on it.
Brianna's boyfriend, 27-year-old Kenneth Walker, a legal gun owner, fired a shot, later telling investigators
one shot
because he didn't know who was bursting through the door. An FBI report saying it was Walker's bullet that struck Mattingly.
As soon as I felt the
and there's another report that conflicts that and says they can't determine.
From start to finish, from the time I got shot till the time I'm on the ground and heard that last volley of shots, 12 seconds total.
I don't know what's happening. Somebody kicked in the door and shot my girlfriend.
Where was she shot at?
I don't know. She's on the grill right now. I don't know.
Probably riddled with bullets.
Oh my God. Yes,
what's your name, sir?
Mr. Walker said, I just fired a warning shot. I thought someone was breaking into my apartment.
Which is totally his right.
I don't want to kill anyone. That was his statement.
Look at that smirk on his fucking face.
He's pushed out with two hands, looking straight at me. I saw his gun. Our postures were the same, looking at each other when he fired that shot.
Only one officer was wearing a body camera during the execution of the warrant that night, but it wasn't turned on because Mattingly said it wasn't police procedure in these types of situations. Do you believe if you had body cameras?
Fuck that.
No, the incident would have still happened. But it would.
Oh yeah, you still would have been incompetent.
This wouldn't be an issue. This wouldn't be a case.
But you'd be charged right now. You'd be in fucking jail.
Never know about this case if we had cameras on that night.
How would you have done it differently if you could have?
We would have either served the no-knock warrant or we would have done the normal thing we do, which is 5 to 10 seconds, to not give people time to formulate a plan, not give people time to get their senses so they have an idea of what they're doing.
To try to defend themselves from an intruder.
Breonna Taylor be alive.
You believe she'd be alive
100%.
if you had just stormed in?
Yes.
And not given them time?
I do.
Say her name!
In the months following, protests erupting across the country. Celebrities like Oprah and Beyonce calling for the officers involved to be arrested and be criminally charged with Breonna's death. What was your feelings watching all that unfold after this?
Mostly frustration. And the frustration came from our command and from the mayor's office because there was so much disinformation out. Because this is not relatable to a George Floyd. This is nothing like it. It's not an Ahmaud Arbery. It's nothing like it. These are two totally different type incidences. It's not a race thing like people want to try to make it to be.
Oh, yes it is. Because we know for a fact that they were wanting to gentrify that neighborhood. Why else would there be a reason to lie to obtain a warrant? To try to go fucking harass some people that were innocent.
Doing our job, we gave too much time. When we go in, I get shot, we return fire. This is not us going hunting somebody down. This is not kneeling on a neck. This is nothing like that. And I know I'm not going to sit here and act like playing the big victim card.
Oh, we're going to, I'm glad he said that. We're getting ready to read a letter he wrote to his fellow officers that he didn't think was going to be released.
He has been a victim in this. They have had to go in hiding. They have had death threats. When somebody sits back from their mansion and accuses somebody they don't know of being a racist and being a dirty cop and being a murderer.
You are a dirty cop, a murderer, and you're a fucking piece of shit.
You were called racist. Mm-hmm. Are you racist?
No, not at all.
Do you think there is a racist divide between the community and the LMPD?
I think there are people who stir things up and make it more of that because
yeah, like cops.
You know, you talk about racial profiling. Good police, anyway, police I've worked with don't racial profile. You criminal profile. Let's address the fact that just because you're black, you're a threat. It's not the case.
Bullshit.
Well, that's how black men feel. That's how black women feel.
But does that make it real?
Yes. We got the statistics to back it up.
No, not necessarily.
So what is the difference between criminal profiling and racial profiling?
Criminal profiling is when you get to know an area, okay? I work...
Or you think the black man's automatically a criminal. That's criminal profiling.
About people's demeanors If you pull up beside somebody and they don't make eye contact, they swerve off, there's just different elements of people's psychological game.
Listen to that. His feelings determine.
That you can tell when you've done something long enough.
So basically, it's a feeling.
Not just a feeling. I mean, it's a feeling that goes along with what you've experienced, with what is in the area, what should or shouldn't be. You look at a George Floyd, what happened to him is tragic. It was horrible. Everybody looked at that and said, wrong, bad, disgusting. And what happens? They end up.
I doubt he did.
Which, in my opinion, and I don't know the ins and outs of the case, and I'm very careful now to judge other people for Monday morning quarterbacking, but in my opinion, that was the right call, whether he died of an overdose or whatever. But
Got to throw that out there, don't you?
In my opinion, George Floyd was not a model citizen.
It's very hard for me to sit here George Floyd died of an open overdose. He died because someone was kneeling on his neck for minutes.
And I agree with that.
In regards of him being a model citizen or not.
No, you wanted to throw that in there, you little fucking punk.
So
I just demonized it. I said it's horrible.
No one has been charged in connection with Taylor's death. An autopsy confirmed she died of multiple gunshot wounds. One officer in the case, Brett Hankinson, has been charged with 3 counts of wanton endangerment for endangering neighbors when he opened fire. He's pled not guilty. And if Breonna's mother, Tamika Palmer, is watching this, is there anything that you would like to say to her?
Ms. Palmer, nobody should ever have to go through what you're feeling. Nobody can
If you weren't incompetent, she wouldn't.
feel what you're feeling unless they've lost a child. There's no way I could ever tell you enough how much I wish this hadn't taken place. No amount of money in the world is going to change that. Police reform is not going to bring her back. But I just hope that you can find it in your heart at some point to find some peace, find some love in the future. And I pray that
You know, justice can go a long way.
this tragic never happens again to any other family.
And we know Madeline wasn't indicted.
I mean, did you see? Is this Strahan? Is that who that is?
Investigation to determine.
Michael Strahan? Or is that some other reporter? Because, like, he had like a smirk on his face coming back. That was hilarious. See that again.
Find some peace, find some love in the
Like, he didn't buy his bullshit.
pray that something from this and that this tragic never happens again to any other family.
And we know Madeline wasn't indicted for the death of Breonna Taylor. And there is a pending FBI investigation to determine if her civil rights were violated. And I asked him about the leaked email that he sent out to his fellow officers.
They were getting ready to read.
Term to describe protesters, used the term peaceful protesters when he also called them thugs. And he goes, they aren't worth your career or freedom. He says he's referring to the protesters who were causing property damage and taunting officers. Kind of, it didn't, frustrating at times to hear some of the things that were said. And there's a lot more.
There's so many.
Yeah, clearly he's upset. I don't want to keep calling him Michael Strahan. I don't know if that's him or not. I don't watch news. I don't know anything about sports. So, but I think that's who's on Good Morning America. This was Jonathan Mattingly. Everybody left to go watch Bo Rat. I don't blame you. I'm getting ready to go too. I'm not here to give you a rah-rah, you get this speech. I'm not here to tell you you signed up to help this community and to keep your head up. I'm here to tell you I'm sorry you have to go through this. I'm sorry your families have to go through this. I'm sorry the mayor, Amy Hess, and Chief Conrad failed all of us in epic proportions for their own gain and to cover their asses. Now we're talking about a police department that is riddled with corruption. The SWAT team that arrived on the scene said it was an egregious act. The public integrity unit recommended charges for the detective. That recommended they should be investigated for criminal charges for the detective that obtained the warrant. So there's something fishy going on. So I don't know about covering their asses.
In the stores, Lori Shoes open to serve you safely. Creve Coeur next to TGI Fridays.
One of the main figures involved in the Breonna Taylor shooting is speaking out in an email to the Louisville Metro Police Department. Sergeant John Mattingly's attorney confirmed the email.
We're reading the email. Go away. Like, where's that coming from? I've got so many screens up. I didn't know where that was at. You do not deserve to be in this position. The position they put themselves in. That allows thugs to get up in your face and yell, curse, and degrade you, throw bricks, bottles, and urine on you and expect you to do nothing. Now, as we're talking about the protesters, that reminds me, I've got another little story over here about protesters that we need to talk about. In Minneapolis, the feds say it was a far right-wing group that attacked the precinct, as if they were Antifa or BLM, in order to incite violence and paint this social movement as violent. So let's just get this straight. Talking about thugs. I don't know where the email. There we go. The position that if you make a mistake, they didn't make a mistake. They shot an innocent person out of sheer negligence. And right-wingers always want to talk about personal responsibility, and I've never seen one take fucking personal responsibility. During one of the most stressful times of your career, the department and the FBI, who aren't cops and would piss their pants if they had to hold the line, the FBI aren't cops, go after you for civil rights violations. Your civil rights mean nothing, but the criminal has total autonomy. What civil rights are being violated by you? You're more than welcome to hire an attorney and file a lawsuit. How are your civil rights being violated by you being incompetent? On my tax dollar. We wanted to do the right thing in the midst of an evil world and protect those who cannot protect themselves. They don't want to protect anybody. Hold on. Is that the... That doesn't seem like content, is it? We aren't better than anyone. Okay. I thought it said we are better. Once again, I'm reading on a small screen over there. We aren't better than anyone. This is not us against society, but it is good versus evil. We are sons, daughters, husbands. Anytime anybody wants to say it's good versus evil, they're making an emotive argument because they can't back anything up with facts. Now I'm just rambling. He's probably drunk. You know, I think I did read this on the air and said, he's fucking drunk. But I want you to know that I'm still proud to be a cop. So if you want to read this for yourself, because I think I did read it on the air, let's go ahead. Let's move on to Bo Rat. And then I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to go watch Bo Rat. So, a few hours ago on Twitter, Bo Rat came to the defense of Rudy Giuliani, who, as everyone knows, was caught with his hands down his pants with a girl that it seems like he thought was 15. So, this is what Bo Rat had to say about the incident.
I here to defend America's mayor, Rudolph Giuliani. What was an innocent, sexy time encounter between a consenting man and my 15-year-old daughter have been turned into something disgusting by fake news media. I warn you, anyone else try this and Rudolph will not hesitate to reach into his legal briefs and whip out his subpoenas. Dziękuję.
Oh, goddamn. Alright, so as I said, back in the spring we had the lockdown protest from the dumbass right-wingers. I'm assuming this is from Who is America. It might be from Bo Rat.
So, Matt, what happened?
So, okay, here's the video.
Obama, what we gotta do? Inject him with the
gonna do that one more time. I'm gonna say it and you say it. Ready? Okay, this is the chorus. I'm gonna say 1, 2, 2, and you're gonna say inject him with the Wuhan flu. You ready? Here we go. Obama, what we gonna do? Inject him with the Wuhan flu. Inject him with the Wuhan flu. Come on. Hillary Clinton, what we gonna do? Lock her up like we used to do. Like we used to do. Let's talk about Fauci. Fauci don't know his head from his ass. He must be smoking grass. He got knocked down by a flu. I ain't lying, it ain't no jokes. Corona is a liberal hoax. Corona is a liberal hoax. What we gonna do then? Dr. Fauci, what we gonna do? Inject him with the
Wuhan flu.
Inject him with the Wuhan flu. Come on. WHO, what we gonna do? Chop him up like the Saudis do. Chop him up like the Saudis do. What we gonna do to WHO? We're gonna inject him with the Wuhan flu? Or chop him up like the Saudis do? Okay.
Chop them up like the Saudis do.
Who wants to chop him up like the Saudis do? Chop him up like the Saudis do. Okay, you ready? WHO, what we gonna do? Chop him up like the Saudis do. WHO, what we gotta do? Chop him up like the Saudis do. WHO, what we gotta do?
You guys already know what I'm going to say, right? Oh, shit. Got him to sing. Obama, inject him with the Wuhan flu. WHO, what you gonna do? Chop him up like the Saudis do. Alright, one last clip. Apparently, in the film Borat, it would seem that he was incredibly close to the Trump family.
OAN is most rigorous news source in America.
OAN.
Yes, sir. Major left-wing news media are consistently siding with Latin gangs and cartels. We found multiple...
Is this the video of him being like... Oh, okay. So, this is one of the promos.
Involved in the Breonna Taylor shooting is speaking out in an email to the...
What the fuck? Where is that?
Sergeant John Mattingly's attorney confirmed the email.
Where is this goddamn thing coming from?
From Mattingly, and that he wrote it. It criticizes city leadership and the...
Fuck! Whatever that site is, it sucks ass.
Major left-wing news media are consistently siding with Latin gangs and cartels. We found multiple crimes in Ukraine the Bidens have committed. Do you consider the term Chinese food racist?
I know this because they take my daughter into the White House. No need for security checks or COVID tests. They boring.
You take care of yourselves. Thank you very much.
I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm really excited to meet you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good to meet you.
Why is all of the fake journalists for the left and none on the right?
For more penetrations of Trump regime. Thank we.
God, I love it. I've been a huge Sacha Baron Cohen fan since the Ollie G show on HBO. Ollie G in the House isn't that good of a movie. It's kind of stupid. But goddamn, ever since he hooked up with Nathan Fielder from Nathan For You, holy shit. You gonna call in and talk to us, Antifa General? Give us a ring, 917-830-4359. You're the only one in here. Give me a call, or I'm gonna go watch Borat. You gonna do it? You wanna do it? Seriously, even Even my normal viewers have popped off. They're doing something on a Friday night. You call us, Antifa? And if you're an Antifa general, then why are you waiting for orders from me? Shouldn't you be giving me orders, sir? The Troll Patrol reporting for duty. But since you're here and you brought up the topic, let's talk about the Antifa handbook, shall we? Now, I have my copy, just like I'm sure you do, General. They give them out to us when we go through the initiation process.
Go out and purchase yourself the Antifa handbook. It's a real thing. Saul Alinsky, people talk about studying your enemy.
Now, you may think, well, I didn't think Antifa was an organization. How do they have a handbook? Oh, wait.
Go out and read the Antifa handbook. Turn to page 162 and 163. You know why? They're dedicated to me and my organization, Young Americans for Liberty. Why? Because we wrote a piece in Time magazine 2 years ago where all we said was free speech is about tolerating ideas that you don't agree with. You don't have to endorse them, but we need to tolerate it. But what the left has decided in this country...
That's not at all what free speech is about, sir. Free speech is that the government can't imprison you for your speech. You don't get to just say any fucking bullshit that you want and not get challenged on it. I have free speech too, and my free speech allows me to call you an absolute dumb fuck. I do not have to tolerate your ideas. I do not have to tolerate your bullshit, sir. That is freedom of speech.
Country?
But hey, why would I expect a right-winger to know what the fuck they're talking about?
Is that silencing your opponent, it's an easier path. It is.
Nobody's trying to silence you, sir. You are upset that you are receiving criticism. You're upset that there's a page about you in a stupid fucking book. Listen to yourself. I guess you want that book to not have that page in it because you don't believe in that person's freedom of speech, do you? Right-wingers are not only morons, they're fucking hypocrites.
It is. 30, 40 years ago, who were the champions on free speech? The left, the hippies, that was the movement. Now, the right, we have to stand up on free speech because the left and Antifa have realized that if they can just silence you...
Nobody's trying to silence you. You're behind a goddamn podium with a microphone. And you probably have people, very rich people, pumping money into your organization in order to platform you and amplify your message. Nobody is after your speech, you dumb fuck.
It's simple. It's easy.
Simple. It's easy. Now, what's he talking about when he says the Antifa handbook? So I'm like, Antifa handbook? That sounds fucking crazy, doesn't it? This is not an Antifa handbook. It's a history of anti-fascist movements. It's a dude writing about the history of anti-fascist movements. By a historian. But if you just listen to that dumb fuck, it sure does sound like Antifa is some evil organization that has a handbook that tells you how to behave and that you're supposed to silence people like this. But notice, he is attacking a fucking book by a historian. By his own standard, he is trying to silence Mark Bray. Does he not care about Mark Bray's freedom of speech? Of course not. You cannot ask for intellectual consistency from right-wingers. All right, we'll be back next week. We got a big week. The lead up to the 2020 presidential election. We're going to have Dan Bidondi on. Big week planned. Plus. On Saturday night, a week from tomorrow, me and Breed Creed are going to be doing the watch-along for Night of the Living Dead. And that's going to be super cool on Halloween. All right, go ahead. Light one up. Tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin Freakin. We'll see you next week on the Troll Patrol. Live.